I mean, like, it's the thing is, like, the only way for all of us to have gotten through this was if the six had united, and that didn't happen. And, you know, we didn't, and we're in the position that we're in now. And I have been honest with you. Other than the one trap that I set up with Jen, when have I not been as direct as possible with everything that I've been thinking or doing with you? You know, like, I've tried to make it so that you do trust me. I've tried to make it so that eventually down the line, once other things in your alliances and once other things in my alliances begin to fall, that we have each other to run to. And if I'm not here, you know, you're not really going to have anybody like that necessarily, and you're not going to have somebody that you're just going to go on faith that you can trust, you know. And you know how fucking bad I want to be here. You know how important this is to me. And even though you can't necessarily, you know, trust me because of the things that I've done in the past and the way that I've set things up against you and stacked them against you, I haven't done this at all without your knowledge here. You know, like, I haven't pushed, other than Jen, you know, I never pushed Kale to put you up. Well, I guess I couldn't have. But, you know what I mean? Like, no one else was, I, like, put Dustin up. I'm always like, let me, because that's part of my thing, is being like, I'm going after Dustin. Don't worry about me, because everybody's safe as long as Dustin's here. You know, like, that's part of my little thing that I do, because people feel safe if you're here, because they know I'm going to go after you.
Nick,
you know?
Please go to the diary room.
And in the same regards, you know, I was thinking that you were on the same page doing that. Like, even with your talk with Jen, like, I would much rather assume that you know, did that to save face with Jen than did that for really wanting me gone. You know? Like, I don't know. Is there anything you want to ask me for the truth of matters? Because I'm a fucking open book right now. Because the only way that I can get you to trust me is to just completely let everything that I've ever said be open, and everything that I've ever, you know, anything you've ever questioned or everything you've ever wondered, and just answer you honestly. And even though it tears me down and it makes you dislike me more, probably, if you can at least see that I'm willing to give you everything I have right now, that's the only way I can come at you. I've thought about it all fucking day, and the only way I can come at you is by saying, here's everything. I have nothing now, and all I'm asking for is your vote. All I'm asking for is you in this game. You know?
You went about it the very wrong way. I walked out on you a year ago because of your manipulations, because of your indirect lies, and because of your ability to turn people against me based on your powers of persuasion.
It's not working at all in this house, by the way.
And yet again, we're in another situation where your manipulation, your indirect lies, and your powers of persuasion have not turned people against me.
Right.
So, it worked to your disadvantage once before. Why would you approach the same situation with the same manner again? When I walked out on you a year ago because you're doing the same thing that you're doing right now.
Right now, this moment?
Right now, at this moment, you set a trap for me. And when you set a trap for me a year ago,
when did
I walked out
I set a trap for you? Today?
No, with Jen.
Yeah.
So you know that that situation has not worked in the past. Why would you go ahead and use that again? When I said last night, open and honest, that's not something that you did. That's not something that you've done in this house. You have not been open nor honest. You had 4 days to come up to me and say, I just want to let you know that I am trying to save face with Jen, so I'm campaigning for her to put you up. You had 4 days to be open and honest with me about that. It was on the 3rd day that Jen approached me and said, what should I do here? Because your best friend is campaigning more than once to get you out of this house. And so it's on that 3rd day that I turned and said, he'd had plenty of time to come and tell me that just to save face, he's campaigning to get me out. And when that didn't occur, and she said that your name was on the list for people to be out of here, I ran with it. Because you had the choice to be open and honest with me. and you did not choose to take that.
It all happened so quickly, you know, like I talked to her only the first day about it, and she pretty much told me straight up that first day that she wasn't going to do it. At that point, I weighed out whether I should tell you about it or not, and I just basically was like, well, she's not going to do it. There's no point in me, you know, telling him that I did this, and I do honestly believe that I had made it clear that I would constantly try to get you out.
You
I'm
had
being
said
honest
that
with
it
you.
was. You had said that it was your intention to let people know that when you were HOH, that you would take care of me. Not that you would press the issue to have other people take care of me and do your business on a personal level.
Right.
Because there's a way to play this game. It's strategic or personal, and you chose to make it personal.
Danielle's going to have an easier time if Dick is gone. You're going to have an easier time if I'm gone. You know, if you're gone, I'm going to have an easier time. The pairs are getting split up. That is fact. You know, there is such a threat of if we can reconcile anything or if we ever hook up, like everyone's terrified of that fact. And, you know, you voting for me is definitely going to put yourself out on a limb. You know, I'm not trying to sugarcoat this. I'm not trying to manipulate you here. I'm done with that. Today's the day I've chosen to be honest with you. Today's the day that it's all I've got. And, you know, like I'm, you know, that's all I have now. That's all I have to offer you. And if you can see that, and if you can, you know, if you think that that's genuine, you know, then vote for me. And if you can't, and you decide that that's, you know, that you can never trust me or believe me again, you know, then that's not voting for me. You know, that's keeping yourself from it. But even if you don't vote for me and I'm able to stay, I'm not coming after you anymore. It's that simple. There are other people who have come at me now that you're not even an issue any longer. You know what I mean? That I can genuinely go through the rest of this without having to come after you. You know? So I'm not sitting here trying to intimidate you. I'm not sitting here trying to, you know, all I have left is honesty for you.
And I appreciate that at this moment.
Yeah. Fucking vote for me, biatch. You know, like, please, you know how bad I want this. You know how, you know how, like, that's the thing that fucking kills me if you're not going to vote for me, is I know how important this is to me. Not just for, you know, the game and everything, well, basically just for the game and everything like that. But you know, like I look back and I think of your fridge with a vet's name written on it. You know how much I want this and how bad I want to be here. And if you choose not to vote for me, then just as you say that I did that strictly personally to do for Jen, your vote strictly personally. You know, there's no way around that. Because keeping me here is in the best interest for you strategically if we're going to end up hooking up. Because this will go a long way in building my trust back for you. And hopefully my conversation here has at least done something to build the trust back for me. You know?
Do you remember when I said to you that I was trying to see you in a new light?
Yes.
As a new person. And that when I walked
That all got shot to shit when I did the Jen thing.
When I walked down those stairs, I had made the choice that I was not going to look at you as the old Joe. That I was going to look at you as a new person. A stranger, just like any one of the 13 other people in this house. And I was going to try and look at the positives about you. And look at the way that you treated me and the way that you treated everybody else. And during the past 16 days in this house, you have not proven to me that you are worth my vote. Because you have slandered my name.
When, other than the beginning, have I?
You have repeatedly brought me up in conversation. And you have, again, gone the wrong way to try and earn my trust.
How did I go the wrong way tonight?
Because you manipulated me and set me up in a trap, as you just exposed last night. So your manipulation has again brought you to this point where, Joe, I will not be voting to keep you in this house. Because that person that I liked and that person that I loved 2 summers ago is not the person that I see today.